but thanks for taking some time to speak. I'm looking forward to asking you a couple questions.
Oh, great. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. So, obviously, it's a lot out there about your career journey. It's kind of cool in that your first your first pursuit was hockey, and then it went from hockey to, of course, changing it to becoming an actor, and you've been successful at that. Your journey, though, it was interesting listening to your interview. You sound at peace that hockey didn't work out, and then that acting became the thing. In hindsight, of course, hindsight's 2020. Would you have pursued acting first, or are you happy with how the journey kind of went about?
Oh yeah, no, never would I change anything at all. Everything I know and everything I learned and everything I know about life is all from playing hockey. I don't think acting. It's like I don't think you find. Well, I'm going to speak for myself. I don't think I've ever found anything out about myself while I'm acting. I just apply the things that I've found out in other avenues of life to the scene that I'm doing. So for hockey, you learn how to work with a team. You learn how to win as a team. You learn how to lose as a team. You learn how to fail. You learn how to get back up. You learn how to deal with authority, argue, present case. You learn how to live your life. For me, that's how it was. And so anything that I attribute myself to, or how I feel about certain things in life now, I really attribute mostly to playing hockey, being raised in a rink.
That's cool. Yeah, I can understand that too, because you have some really fun stories when it came to your journey with hockey. So yeah, thank you for just your candor in that area in your interviews. But
cool.
One of the other things that you shared was when you originally interviewed for auditioned for Captain America role, maybe 10 years ago, if not more at this point. You were kind of doing it to see, you didn't really expect to get it. You were kind of doing it to see if you were pretty good, which I thought was like an awesome amount of authenticity. Have you had a moment to this point where you're like, you know what, I am pretty good at this? So,
it's so hard because you always think like you're like I it's like this for me. It's like this: you do it and you're like, oh god, I could do this. I think I could do it well. And then you get there and you're like, oh my god, am I terrible? Like, am I doing this? Am I not good now? Like, fuck. And then you'd watch it and be like, okay, it's not so bad. And then some things were better than others, and then more so what it was instead of realizing like I had an experience where I was like, watching myself does not help me. And so I don't watch myself anymore. And that's really helped me. But one of the things that I realized was, being able to be like present with yourself while you're not acting is much more important than trying to like look at yourself and analyze yourself and think if you're good or not. Like people will tell you you'll either work or you won't. They'll either like it or they won't. I'm not here to tell people how to feel about me. So I just do the best that I can and then leave it at that now.
That's good. To that point, obviously you kind of knew what you were signing up for with this character, that there would be mixed emotions to him, and in some ways he's there to throw a wrench in the plan. How do you balance doing that? And you're in the MCU world, right? So there's a lot of people have an opinion about everything. How do you keep your mindset healthy in balancing kind of that journey?
I just don't think about it. It's like my job. That's again, bringing it back to the first question. That's something I learned in hockey. It's like, I used to go on the message boards, be like, what are people saying about me? I know I'm good. I know my numbers are good, but this guy doesn't think I'm good. It's like, well, dude, he's just on the chat board making, like, at his computer at home eating Doritos, like making way. Who the hell cares? I didn't get that when I was 16, but now I'm 34, and as my life has gone on, you just realize that it's just out of your control. Just don't worry about it and don't listen. And I'm in a job that allows that. Of course, I do worry about. You have to be a crazy person to not be like, I don't care what anybody thinks of me. Like, of course I care what people think of me. I want people to like me as an actor. But I don't care about what strangers on the internet think of me. Who the fuck cares? It's at the end of the day, it's just you're trying to do a good job as an actor, and the proof is in the pudding. It'll be someone will tell you.
That makes a lot of sense. What for your, it sounded like when you were auditioning for this, you kind of put your own twist on what you thought they wanted or what you interpreted from the information you got. What were some of the inspirations you used for your performance that maybe the public would know about?
Good question. So, I mean, I definitely use the art from the comic books, but there were, elements of I would listen to podcasts that some, were military podcasts of people who had been there and done it, talked to friends who were in the military, and kind of realized that all of the things that we think are things that we celebrate in our military men and women aren't necessarily things that they celebrate in themselves, because to them, a military victory is a very different thing than to us. We never did it. We didn't go over anywhere. We didn't fight in a battle. We didn't get shot at. We didn't see people die. That's all in their heads. So our celebration is also almost a celebration of a lot of their loss. And that I really took that in on some of the podcasts that I listened to and the people that I talked to. So trying to apply some of that to the character in episodes to come as well. I think you'll see some of those themes start to emerge.
Cool, man. Well, obviously you're a very thoughtful man, and it's been a pleasure to get to speak to you a little bit. And I've enjoyed seeing your performance on the show. Best of luck going forward.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Where is the buzz?
Oh, yeah.
Where is the buzz? You said
We used to be
was
a singer.
mine,
Where is the buzz?